All right, hello everyone, and welcome to this very special presentation today on our sneak peek at VectorVest's Tampa 2-day investment seminar and live stream. And we'll do a retake on that. Mike was inactive there for a second, guys. Sorry. So welcome again to this very special presentation and sneak peek at VectorVest's Tampa 2-day investment seminar and live stream. I'm delighted to be your host today. My name is Steve Chappell, Director of Trading Systems Development here at VectorVest. And certainly I know the holiday season is in full stride when we start gearing up and talking about Tampa. And look, if you want to make the best of 2022, then this is something that you certainly want to check out. So I'm glad you're here and have this opportunity. And it's always our biggest show of the year. It's very, very well attended. In fact, the live seminar is sold out. And so we started doing these webcasts about a month ago. And, have been telling folks that was surely going to happen. And it has. The live is sold out. The live stream is still wide open. There is no cap on attendance there. And we're already, the event's still a month away. And we're already eclipsing last year's attendance numbers right now. So this is timely that you're in these seats right now. There's still opportunity for you. We do have a very special price on the event at the end of the webcast today. So it is worth your time to take these 20-30 minutes or so out of your day, and if you're planning on attending, you're going to get a good reward at the end. Okay, so let's get to it. At the end of the day, why to go? At the end of the day, what do we all want? Well, we want financial freedom, right? In order to make that a reality, what do we need to accomplish? Well, consistent gains. We need to build and manage a portfolio that makes more money month after month after month, hopefully year after year after year. Those should be the overarching goals. And not only that, you want to beat the pants off just buying the index. You want to beat the S&P performance. Otherwise, why not just buy the S&P? So the problem is, there's always a problem or a catch there, right? And that is knowing really the difference between data and useful information. That's where so many people get tripped up. And it's not your fault really, because data is getting thrown at you at breakneck speed these days with the advent of the internet. And certainly I know on my inbox, you sign up for one newsletter, you start to get 1,000 of them. Before you know it, it's everybody's telling you something different to do, right? Well, if you're not careful, you end up getting buried by all that stuff, and just don't ever really get going. So if you're not careful, you'll drown in all that data. And as we mentioned, it's getting thrown at you awful quick these days. So it's a big problem that a lot of folks need to get behind. And the nice thing is at VectorVest, we pride ourselves in delivering you the useful information that you need. It's not just simply data. And a lot of it comes down to our proprietary formulas on how we rank and order stocks and how we value them, and how we place our buy, sell, hold recommendations on all those stocks every day, for example. And so that's why VectorVest has been here for so long and will be here for so much longer. More than 25 years now. I've been here 20, and that's just the electronic format. Dr. DeLito years and years and years ago started this whole business out as a little 3-ring binder called the VectorVest Stock Advisory that used to go out in the mail. And we still have a few customers to this day that have been with us, even dating all the way back to then. It's just been an incredible ride. But what's been the most difficult part of investing for you guys? We'll just kind of open it up a little bit, see if you guys want to interact, and often you do. So this is your chance. That also might give me a little bit of opportunity to try to cater the rest of the presentation a touch to the folks that are here. So what's been the most difficult challenge for you guys? It's always interesting to see that. I'm just going to give you a minute to put some of those things in. So many systems, what to choose? Yeah, so system overload, says Russell. What to buy given market conditions? Yeah, can you really beat the index? You sure can. Yeah. Let's see, last year, well, it doesn't matter what I did, right? Yeah, you could have made hundreds of percent last year. Anyway, finding the best stock, right? Okay, what to buy and when to buy them. Systems design and implementation. Okay, market direction, and how do I set all that up? How do I get started? Okay, well let's get into it. I'm surprised that the most common theme really is knowing when to sell. I didn't see any of those today, but a whole bunch of other stuff. All right, well, lucky for you, I think at least portions of this webcast will cater to everyone. So what we need to do is avoid the big mistake. This is the main thing that we need to get accomplished with this seminar, and that is to avoid the big trouble. And that's not having a plan. You know, you could have gotten away with that last year, for sure. Seemed like just about any stock you picked often doubled, you know, and that's just a function of one of the best buying opportunities in really the last 100 years or so. I would put that up there in the neighborhood with the '09 bottom, certainly. And boy, I tell you, it even rose sharper and faster. You know, it didn't take near as much time to get as high as we got. So, I mean, last year was a great opportunity. But if you have a plan, you know, you can really maximize these opportunities, and you can do it more often. And so we're going to show some systematic ways to approach the stock market that are tried and true, and they work year in, year out, regardless of market condition. And I think that's, you know, something that obviously we pride ourselves in, and something that you would have here to look forward to. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if you haven't seen things slow down for you, you know, here as of late, where the market's gotten a little bit more turbulent and more challenging. So the good news is these systems that we're going to be talking about don't have to be complicated. In fact, often the good ones are very simple. You know, so the fix is to have a simple, proven plan and stick to it. We're going to be talking about 3 different plans in totality here, and just kind of giving you a glimpse into each and every one of them, realizing that some customers may wish to actually deploy more than one plan. For example, I run 3 different plans for myself. You know, I've got a portfolio of very safe, consistent money-making stocks that I stay vested in and year out. At times, I use my options account as a defensive mechanism to offset any challenges those stocks might go through if the market's in substantial pullback like we have been here recently. Also, that options account provides leverage. And the other thing that a lot of folks will be keen on from this webcast, this live stream, will be the idea of riding the wave, making money in both bull and bear markets. So really 3 unique approaches. We're going to have one that we call VectorVest's Simple. We're going to have another one that we call Retirement Services, or the Ultimate Retirement Portfolio. And we'll have a third one where you can do some swing trading and really leverage the ups and downs of the markets a lot more frequently. Okay, so let's get to it. Ultimately, what we're going to need are the right tools for the job and the right people to teach you how to use them. So big year this year. We are bringing a staff like I've never seen before. This is great for a variety of reasons, particularly for those that already signed up for the live that will be there. Opportunity to meet everyone, you know, that kind of thing is always really cool. But for those now that are going to be attending on the live stream, you're going to have a lot of fresh personalities, which will really keep the event moving along quite nicely. And everybody really sort of specializes in a particular aspect of VectorVest. So you're going to have the best people for the job on each of the presentations, which is terrific. So very excited about it. Just to give you just a quick rundown, a lot of people always want to know who's going to be doing the teaching. So Dr. David Paul will be attending. He's flying across the pond is the plan. Hopefully COVID doesn't get too crazy where he can't make that trip, but we expect to have him in. Florida's wide open, you know, so don't expect any challenges there. He's going to be doing several swing trading presentations, which is going to be great. Jerry D'Ambrosio will be there as well, giving some swing trading presentations, and also Stan Heller. Those will really be your team on that front. Great team. I love all those guys. Very good teachers, each and every single one of them. For the Ultimate Retirement Solution, Jim Penna will be there. And he's really one of the highlights of the show. It's a terrific system where we teach a 3-prong approach. We teach For retirement services, you really need to consider not just dividend income and going after high yields, but getting better quality dividends along with good capital appreciation on the stocks that you own and the use of options to generate even more income. So it's a wonderful approach, and if you haven't seen it, it's sure to be a highlight. If you have seen it, you're also still sure to learn a bit from Jim this year around. I call him Dr. Glenn. That's an affectionate term from Dr. Delito himself. Funny story about that since I brought it up. But Glenn Hopkins will be there. We went to a money show in, I believe it was Washington, D.C., and Doc had a bit of fun. He had him put the reservation under Dr. Glenn instead of Dr. Delito. So Glenn is now affectionately known around here as Dr. Glenn. But they treated him first class, boy. It was great. So we had a lot of fun on that trip. I think it was the nicest steakhouse in D.C. that we went to. Anyway, so Glenn Hopkins will be there. He's kind of our YouTube sensation these days, I would say. And so a lot of you folks probably have heard or have seen Glenn. And of course, I will be there. This will be my 18th trip out of the last 20. The only 2 years I missed were unavoidable. I just couldn't make it. So I had things going on that I had to make sure got done. But I will be there again this year as well. So big team. Hopefully I'm not losing any. Oh, I am leaving a couple out. All of our international directors are participating. Okay, so Stan will be actually participating virtually for the swing trading side, as we mentioned earlier. And then Russell Markham will also be tuning in from Australia, and Susan Hayes from Europe. So you will have the full contingent of VectorVest educators from around the globe, which is great. All right, so let's talk a bit about it. When is it going to be? When, what, and why, right? When, what, and why. So when? The when is January 7th and 8th. As I mentioned, right now you can no longer attend live, so I won't make a big deal about that. It's live streamed. One nice thing on the live stream, not only can you attend in lockstep with the seminar as it goes along, you are going to receive a recording of the event as well. Normally it takes us a couple weeks to turn it around and put it up digitally, clean it up a little bit, all that fun stuff. And then you'll have access to it for a full calendar year. So that's terrific because there's going to be a ton of content that we teach in this workshop. Dr. Delito has often said, you get about 10 years worth of education walking right out of this event. And we had an executive premier workshop where he was more apt to make that claim. But in reality, you're going to get 10 years worth of education at this one. It's awesome. And, every talk is special. So there's going to be a unique situation that might pop up and what did Steve talk about in that situational investing? When the MTI gets to 0.6 and what am I going to start thinking about again? So you can go back and visit that particular presentation and get ready for the current situation that you find yourself in. So that's wonderful. When we look at the first day here, day one morning, we can forget about the continental breakfast and stuff. Hopefully you'll have some nourishment before you start watching all this stuff from the comfort of your home. But when we get to 9:10, the VectorVest system, so that's going to be going through all of our proprietary indicators on analyzing stocks, okay? And this is a lot like what we do when we go out on the road and we talk to people at like trade shows and et cetera. In that, what we're going to do is spend the bulk of our time educating you on useful information and how we do it. We're going to be talking about relative value or the upside potential of a stock. We're going to be talking about safety, how consistent and predictable they are with their corporate earnings, along with several other factors. We're going to be talking about timing, what direction is the stock price actually moving, and we're going to be talking about the bottom line, which is buy, sell, or hold. So it's terrific because once you get this mastered, you can really look at a list of any stocks. So like if you watch Kramer on a lightning round or something and a few stocks catch your eye and you plug them into VectorVest, you would very quickly be able to check it out. All right, well, we said they liked it on the TV. Now I bring it into VectorVest. What is VectorVest saying about it? And if VectorVest likes it, it's a good stock. If VectorVest doesn't like it, it's not a good stock. It's pretty much that simple. But the reality is, you'll get to a point where you could analyze a list of 10 stocks and immediately know which ones you want to favor and which ones you want to avoid. And by contrast, another approach is, if that's your portfolio, you're going to know where the problem is, where you need to start fixing that portfolio, and getting a better situation put together there. So it's a terrific presentation. This whole morning really is dedicated around that idea of healing a broken portfolio, getting on the right track, putting market timing at your side, and the whole approach there is called the Successful Investor, which is the final one, 1115. That takes the proprietary data that's useful along with the market analysis and wraps it into a complete package. And of course, we offer a coaching group along with that for folks that will be interested. You will learn enough in those presentations to do it on your own. If you want to see it in action, we also have a coaching group, and that coaching group typically does about 15% a year, year in and year out, every single year, including this one. Okay. Day 2 afternoon, we're going to take a different approach. We're still kind of building on the foundation that we set up that morning, but we're really going to be emphasizing the safety components of VectorVest, good safe stocks. And so you'll see we've got a presentation on finding the safe and most reliable stocks. Might even work in a little 5G analysis in that, as 5G has become a very important market segment. There is a terrific trading system doing very well on the 5G market right now. And then after a break, that's when Jim will get up there, talk about the ultimate retirement solution. That's the 3-prong attack, okay, where it's not all about chasing yield. That's nice, but you can get yourself into some pitfalls if you're not careful. So we're going to be talking about how to pick the best dividends, the best quality dividends, stocks with the right capital appreciation and the ability to trade options to really make things worry-free and produce more income. After that, I will get up and switch gears one final time that day. We're going to be talking about situational investing, which is really recognizing market situations, recognizing what the market is exhibiting and implementing tactics that are consistent with market behavior. So there's a time to go bottom fishing, there's a time to go high momentum, there's a time to really cling towards safety, and then there's a time where the market enters into more of a correction, and we need to, even more so than just be defensive, look towards capitalizing on potential returns in a bear market situation. So we're going to be covering all those bases in that one there. That's my favorite presentation. I've done it every year for the last 20 that I've been there. So it should be a lot of fun. This is just a quick little nugget from Jim. I had those guys, the coaches, just give me some quick performance slides. This is just from the last several months. Retirement portfolio is doing just fine. This is one of his capital appreciation portfolios that everybody gets a chance to see him manage. Okay, great stocks in there: NVIDIA, Wire, LPX, Micron, ANAT. All right, so that takes us then to day 2. You will be swimming full of information in your heads the night of day 1. And just when you thought the pain and suffering was over, you'll go back the next day. That's what it feels like sometimes, and it's normal, okay? It's a lot of information. But day 2, we kick it up a notch for a different kind of folk, really. Folks that are going to be more interested in ramping up gains more quickly. So we're going to be going towards the swing trading approach morning of day 1. Also, David Paul is doing some swing trading on the special presentation the prior evening. Okay, but we really start to hit the ground running a little even harder morning of day 2. We're going to be talking about improving your swing trading accuracy with volume. Volume is a vital, important perspective there. We're also going to be using a unique and novel approach of moving averages to help pinpoint when to enter and when to exit wonderful trades. It's really great. It's called the Guppy, if anybody's ever heard of that. But it's terrific. Stan Heller is going to be doing that presentation. And then finding hot stocks for explosive profits. We have found a way to use our hot stock picks that we do every day in the Daily Color Guard presentations that is producing mammoth returns. So for about the last year and a half, this portfolio is up 180% just using those hot stock picks from the daily color guard presentations. So you'll get insight into that complete system at the show. Also, the coaching group is doing quite well here as of late. Okay, so afternoon of day 2 is kind of where we, well, after the first presentation, I suppose, we just put a bow, wrap a bow around the event and really give you an idea on what to do when you get home. Where do I start? All right, I've learned all this information now. What approach is best for me, and how do I get started? That's the final one. Just before that, Ron Wheeler is going to do one last presentation on swing that is really geared more towards trading for income. Okay. So that's gonna. Oh, I didn't mention Ron was going. I'm glad I threw that name. Ron's going to be there as well. He's doing all the option talks, guys. Okay. So if you're, in some of Ron's classes already, he's going to be there with us at the show. Okay. All right. Good. So at this point, it's time to choose. I can't teach in this. All I can do is tell you what we're going to be teaching about, which pains me to the depth of my soul, to which you will never know. I enjoy teaching people more than, but at some point you got to get people in a position to teach them, right? So right now is the choice. You can continue to do it alone or get the help that you need and do it fast. And the way to do that is to get to the show. There's no such thing as you can't. I would say this, the only way you can't is if you don't want. If you don't want to, I can't fix that. If you want to, we can make it happen. So last little bit from me. This is a little quote from Abraham Lincoln that has been a guiding light in my short existence on the face of this earth. And that is, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. That began to hit home for me even more so later, as I had about 7 wooded acres. I've recently moved again. But he's right about that. You want to sharpen that axe before you start. Some like 90-foot trees fall across my driveway, You better make sure the chainsaw is sharp at that point. But what he's getting at here is not about cutting up trees, right? What he's getting at here is being prepared for the challenge that lies ahead. And he's saying you ought to spend most of your time getting prepared to do rather than start doing right away. And so I would encourage you to follow those words of wisdom and attend this show virtually. You can do so. The prices continue to go up. I've been saying it since the very first one that we did, where it was $95 to attend. And then a couple weeks ago it was $195. Now it's $295. And if you wait another 2 weeks, it's going to be $395. Okay. Do not pay more than $295. Many of you should have already just paid $95. No, the prices can't go any lower, and they won't. Now, if you are an elite subscriber, you do get the half off the full price, so that would be $247.50, I believe. Okay, but $295 for anybody else. And if you're elite, you would know it. I'll throw that out there as well. We send you a nice little. You get a keychain and some nice little things and a membership card and things, I think, in the mail. But anyway, to take advantage of this offer now, and not somebody in here is going to pay $495. You know how I know? Because somebody always does. Lots of people always do. I'm not sure why. You could have gone for $95. Now it's $295. Don't let it be $495. Don't do that. So in your chat, I went ahead and put out the link. I can't do that in YouTube. Sorry, YouTubers. I just don't have the ability to do that. But you guys know how to go to www.VectorVest's.com/TampaStream. I am very certain of that. If you're on YouTube, you know how to do that. Okay, so when you do, it's going to take you to this page here. Oops. Did I put the right one in? It was working just a second ago. Maybe I've got one cached. There we go. I just had to reload mine. Took me to the right page. So it says $2.95. So that was a caching problem. You guys shouldn't have had that problem. Okay. So it's $2.95. Price is $4.95 normally. On this page, it does tell you got 12 days, 11 hours. So I said 2 weeks. There's a little less than 2 weeks at this price. 12 hours, 12 days, 11 hours, 33 minutes, 20 seconds is the countdown. So at, when this is done, it jumps up to $3.95, I believe, and then ultimately $4.95. Okay. If you go to the agenda, it'll recap all of the sessions that I went through here briefly, and that way you can see what's coming down the pipe. All right. There is no more click here to register for in-person. When you go to the in-person, it is going to say sold out. That did in fact happen. So it always sells out, guys. And then with COVID, we had to take a little bit of extra precaution there. So we cannot take anyone live. There's no exceptions. And that's just part of the deal these days, unfortunately. Okay, so there is no exception there at this point. Really isn't. So attending live or live stream is the only way. And so you guys have link out there in the chat if you're in GoToWebinar, and those on YouTube, just go to VectorVest.com/Tampa stream. /Tampa stream. So I'll go back and put that link on the screen for you so that you can see it. And let's see if there's any questions. What I can do to try to help. You're welcome. Will Ally Reps be there? Not this year around. You're welcome, Mary. I am elite, but how do I know what I get? Just give us a call on the phone. Okay. So let me put that out there as well. Put this into the chat there as well. Okay, 888-658-7638. Name that person. I'm not sure who you were talking about there. Steve, what happened to the BSR MTI bear market bull trap? I'm not sure if it's a bear market bull trap yet or not. Markets are still off the lows, but what you have is concerns over the Fed meeting, right? And I think that's become clear. We'll see what happens at the end. We'll see what happens at about, you'll know for sure really between 3:30 and 4 p.m. tomorrow what direction this market is going to decide to go. And I think a lot of it has to do with what he's actually going to say. We pretty well think he's going to say we're going to continue to speed up tapering, right? But I think more so the market is going to be focused on what he might have to say about interest rates and potential acceleration thereof. So over time, if there's any commentary about that, right? And so yeah, we have no idea what he's going to say, do we? So we have to see what he says and then react accordingly. So remember, markets are always looking a year ahead, and if he gets super hawkish, that could make things pretty interesting. It really could. So we'll see what he does. Alrighty. Will the stream have the UK person the first night? Will the stream have the UK person the first night? I'm not sure what that means. But if you're in the UK, you should be able to watch the stream. We've had people from all over the globe, even the Middle East, and really everywhere. Asia Pacific. So everybody should be able to attend. It might be an interesting time of day for you, but that's why we're doing the recordings as well. That way nobody's going to miss anything, which is good. All right, guys. So that looks to be all the questions. The speaker from the UK on swing trading. Yeah, you're going to see it. Yeah. The special presentations, they're going to be both broadcast and filmed. And that's Dr. David Paul, who, dear friend of mine, wonderful trader. And that presentation is one you're going to want to watch if you're into swing trading, for sure. You're going to learn about springs, and they'll probably do a little volume analysis in that one as well. All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in today. Hopefully we see you there. Some of you might actually be here that are already registered for the live. I often find that interesting. But hope so. Either I'm going to see you there, or I'll see you through the interweb. One of the two. So thanks for coming, guys. We'll see you soon. Hey, do not pay $4.95 for this course. $2.95 right now. Okay, $2.95 right now. See you guys. Gotta go.